And welcome back again to another session of Speak Your Mind. We want to welcome you guys into our studio. Tonight, as promised, I've been promising you guys for a couple weeks now, actually for a couple months, that we're going to have the people responsible for our health care, the hospital services, the clinic services around the territory. So tonight, hopefully you guys will tune in, and not just tune in and stare at the TV, but this is your opportunity to call in and ask those questions or put those concerns on the table that you always had. I know there's been a series of outreach in the different communities, and so all you folks who have big concern, great concern about your health, about what's coming in the future, questions about the hospital services, the clinic services, this is your opportunity tonight. This is the only show, the only station that reaches pretty much a lot of the homes in the BVI. So folks, again and again, every week you guys meet me. I don't know about Courtney because I'm not with Courtney, but every day you meet me, you tell me, oh, how much you watching the show, and you always wanted to call in. Well, don't meet me this week and tell me you wanted to call in. It's not political, even though John, Mr. Klein, is political. Tonight's show is not political. It's about health care. You know how I do this thing. Courtney's here with me as well. So together, hopefully tonight, I'm going to probably be cutting Courtney off as much as possible because I have a lot of questions. A lot of questions that I know a lot of you want answers to. But we're going to be nice to the folks tonight. So we want you guys to, again, I want to give you guys a chance to call who you need to call. I know there's other things happening in the territory tonight, but this is the most important thing. I always believe without good health, the society going to fail. So this is an opportunity for us to really get in to what's happening, what's coming. Of course, there's a lot of things coming, a lot of new things. We got a new CEO at the hospital. We're going to introduce her in a minute. We have a new board, chairman of the board. You know, if Mr. Klein himself, John Klein, which I thought was a good selection. I mean, obviously the hospital do need somebody that could manage the affairs, the financing, and I know he's a good businessman. So we're hoping to hear more about what's coming as far as that aspect. But really and truly, we want to focus on the health, the services, extended services. You know, they're not supposed to touch the whole insurance scheme, but the insurance scheme go hand in hand with the health services. So once in a while, I'm going to be putting some of those questions in there. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you had 4 or 5 minutes. Hopefully I've been talking for that long. We want you guys to start tuning in. The phone line is going to be open immediately. We're just going to be, you know, getting all into it about what's happening again. So, Courtney, welcome back.
Yeah, good evening to our viewers out there. And we're planning to have a wonderful show this evening. We have some very interesting and motivated guests that we have here tonight, and they're ready for the public. So I think we're going to have a wonderful show tonight. So,
well, with that said, Courtney, let's go ahead and have the guests introduce themselves.
Of course.
From my right, madam, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Tell the folks, who are you?
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. We are so delighted to be here. My name is Darlene Cardi-Baptiste. As you alluded to, I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the BVI Health Services Authority. Okay.
And the fellow next to you, not that he needs to be introduced, but...
Well, I was wondering when I'll get back on Speak Your Mind.
Well, you on it tonight.
It seems like I got kicked off.
You're right here right now.
So, but anyways, as you said, serving now as chairman of the Health Services Authority, and we in the board, that is, and we endeavor to do our best to improve the quality and expand the services of healthcare in the BVI, and that's our agenda.
All right, well, we're gonna touch that in a minute. We're gonna know exactly what you mean when you say expand the health services. you know, the services at the hospital. Obviously, there's some things that a lot of people do leave the territory for, but we'll get into that in a minute. What I wanted to do is first ask Ms. Baptiste, CEO.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand what that means. Tell us exactly what is the CEO, what is your responsibility at the hospital, and why are you significant to the hospital services?
Well, as a Chief Executive Officer for the BVI Health Services Authority, I cover the breadth of both the community health, which is the 11 sites that we have throughout the territory, and the hospital facility. So we're integrating them as one system. My role and responsibility, as mandated by the board, is to carry out the policies of the Ministry of Health and Social Development. From that is to drive efficiency, do the assessments, make recommendations to the board, again, to increase the quality of service that we provide, and of course provide optimum health care to both the visitors and residents alike in the territory.
So there's 11 sites. That includes the clinics.
11, yes.
The hospital.
Yes.
If there's a mini hospital come in Virgin Gorda, that would fall under you as well.
It's not a mini hospital, it's more of a polyclinic that we're planning in Virgin Gorda.
I heard the minister use a term recently. He said, what was it, high-end clinic or something like that? Maybe I'm misquoting it. Is that the same term?
Yeah, the polyclinic, right.
Okay, polyclinic. Because, you know, the whole concept of high-end clinic kind of scares people. What do you mean high-end versus the other ones that we already have? Aren't they all supposed to be high-end?
Well, it's not so much the high-end portion. It's just the polyclinic is more vast. It carries more of a 24/7 kind of feel with urgent care services. So on Virgin Gorda, that's what we're planning to do. We're planning to do more of a stabilization for folks who need to be medically evacuated over to the BVI for stabilization or critical care.
So you mean if there's a serious boat accident in Virgin Gorda, you'll be able to stabilize that person to the degree that once they get to Road Town, they probably just need to add to what they already done in Virgin Gorda.
Correct.
Makes sense. Courtney, what do you have?
Well, it sounds like we're talking about something like the Morris de Castro clinic in St. John, which is pretty much
Yes.
that type of
Yes, we have the expanded facilities, X-rays, laboratories,
Yeah.
and of course the wraparound services for the clinic will still be able to be maintained to the existing facility.
Now let me ask you a question, Ms. Baptiste, again. I'm going to put a lot of questions to you.
Okay, ready.
I'm going to leave the chairman alone tonight because I don't want people to think that he's on the hot seat.
Oh,
You're
okay.
on the hot seat.
Okay, ready.
Since you're the person that people obviously going to review the complaints, look at situations that are happening, like you said, make assessment, and then give those recommendations to the board. Obviously, there's a lot of complaints. I'm sure you get through the hospital payment. You know, there's a new system in place now where people have to get this card before they even able to see a doctor. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you guys are really focusing on? Or that was already there before you got here, and you're just continuing that?
Well, I mean, the fact that you talked about the complaints, we look at complaints as an opportunity for correction. So we don't turn away folks from complaining or making their concerns known. We address them in real time. The matter of the health information system, the wheel started in motion prior to me coming aboard. The vendor was selected and we're going through the negotiation process. When I got here, the board, that's one of their mandates for me to make sure that the wheels keep turning and the services were implemented. So we are very anxious and excited about it. We're trying to do a lot in a short period of time. The health information card that's giving, the one patient, one record, is just that. It's for the benefit of the patient. A lot of folks talk about the wait time. Some of that wait time is to be registered, get your insurance information, get your financial information, get your history, part of that assessment prior to be seen. All the information would not be on the card. So when you come in, you swipe the card, it populates, and that information is there, so thereby cutting down your wait time.
So when I make that second or third visit to the hospital, the doctor shouldn't have to be running around trying to find my medical records, what you're saying?
No, everything will be on the card.
There. Okay.
Understand, can I add something to that? Because you asked about the history and how did we get here. For many years, our system has been a paper-based system. Everything had to be written. As a result of that, we had people would leave the hospital without bills. They won't get bills for 3, 4, 7 years because the paper trail get lost somewhere. And all of these things were as a result of this paper-based system. It was not computerized in any cohesive way. You had a patient in East End, he presented in Road Town. That doctor could not tell in Road Town what was done in East End because there may not have been any communication that day between the doctor in East End and the doctor at the emergency room in Road Town. Those were deficiencies within the system. So we improve it, or the system is designed. You know, if you go to any hospital in America, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, that's what they have. They have a health management system. So it's nothing new. It's just that we have lagged behind in putting something in place. And one of the agendas, at least under this board, I was determined to get it in place. When I came back home from the U.S. in 1989, and I realized it wasn't in place, it is from then. I was working at that time for Rancal Information System, and I presented about 3 opportunities to bring a health information management system to People's Hospital, and all of them were turned down. So I knew now, given the opportunity to serve as chairman of the board, I knew it was critical for me to do so. It was very high on my agenda, very high on the board's agenda, and I'm happy to say today it's well on its way. One patient, one record. Whether you're in Anegada, East End, Long Look, Road Town, as long as you present within the system, one patient, one record. So whatever a doctor does in Virgin Gorda is known in Road Town if you present there later on that night for further.
It sounds like a very efficient system, John. You just date yourself there, but we're going to continue.
Yeah, well, I'm getting old. I'm getting old.
Anyways,
it's a problem.
Anyways, just 2 things. What if you have some patients that currently have 2 or 3 different records? Is there anyone charged with trying to consolidate that information to ensure that that person doesn't slip through at this point? I mean, it seems like a special case. It may not last for a long time, but there must be a couple of people that have 2 or 3. I know 1 or 2 myself that have 2 or 3 different records in the hospital. So you might need to consolidate that one person into one individual. I know from knowing a little bit about the type of database that you're talking about, a good way to do it is by a social security number or by some ID number that's unique to one person. So maybe that's something that you can look into.
Yeah, the HIS committee, which is headed up by our IT manager, they meet on a weekly basis and they have like an issue log. And some of those things do arise in reference to persons if their names are very familiar.
Yes.
That's one the date of birth. Even if it's transposed, that's one of the error reports that come out. So there are different mechanisms in place, and we do have administrators across the entire system that look at those kind of issues and of course address them in real time. So, and of course our staff within medical records do look at those names, date of birth, and other identifiers that are cross-matched, so we could identify those records that need to be consolidated. So they're looking at that.
Right, and the other thing I was going to ask about is redundancy. If you're building something in the system, just in case.
Yes, that is a system issue that's with the servers,
yes.
And of course not only locally here but elsewhere.
Remote site.
Yes.
So there's definitely some benefits in it, but some of the complaints I've heard is that it's also another method or way to force people to pay. How do you address that?
It's not a method.
They should pay. There's no question about that.
Yeah,
but
what do you mean force people to pay?
Well,
they need to pay.
And I agree with you. But sometimes people might find themselves in a situation where they end up at the hospital, not because they really wanted to end up there.
We don't turn away anyone.
So even if somebody's not sitting there with money in their pocket, they'll be able to be seen.
No one is denied care.
Okay, that's good to know.
However, we do ask persons to recognize their obligation. So if there's not a possibility of you making payment, we ask you to go through the social services and go through the financial assistance, and of course give us the information, validate, and just make effort to pay their bills.
Well, it's definitely something that I know. Again, I said in the beginning of the show, I recognize the fact that the hospitals owed a lot of money.
Yes.
And we needed to tighten up on that. And I thought the selection with Mr. Klein, being the chairman, he's a good business person. He understands that aspect of it. I think it's a brilliant marriage. Now, with you, Ms. Baptiste, I think a lot of people probably don't really know you. You know what I mean? And it seems like, you know, it seems like some love you and some don't really love you. Oh. Those who don't really love you. Well, I think she is in good company. Since you've been on board, I read your a speech that you made at the Rotary Club. Okay. And you were addressing some of the evaluations that when you first came in, you actually sat back and you had to take some time to really examine and assess the system. What have you seen that was, in your judgment, given your background, that right now you think needs to go forward immediately, that we have to do right away to get the hospital system up and running properly and more efficiently?
I think the very first thing is our policies and procedures, the standing orders of how we operate business. I think that's a vital portion of which we are addressing. We have a strong financial controller that started in January. We have a senior collections officer that started a couple of weeks ago, and we're building up his staff. We've done an RFP for an outside vendor for collection, and I think once we get the balance of getting our reputation with our vendors and a lot more stable, getting them to really trusting us and building our line of credit, and again, one piece that I really wanted to look at was the staff, the cadre of staff. We have an excellent cadre of staff, and we need to be more supportive and help build and nurture them, and I think that's one avenue that we really need to address with employee morale.
That's good. Well, I tell you something, you left First Bank without a really good bill collector, that's for sure.
Well,
you're giving away our secret.
Oh yeah, we let them out. You don't speak your mind. Let me just address the folks real quick. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you to see me on the street this week and tell me you wanted to call. This is your opportunity to call. A lot of you, these guys been out there in the communities. They've been trying to push the information to the communities, and a lot of you haven't turned up. And so now, you know, you can do what you like to do best. Sit back behind the scene, behind the camera, watching us on TV. You can call, put something over your mouth, say what you have to say. If you have any concerns, this is the time to address those concerns. We have the people who are the most important people right now in our healthcare system. We have the chairman of our BVI Health Services Authority, and we got the chief executive officer. That's the person. You can't get no higher than these two. So if you have a problem, you have a concern, or you have a suggestion or a solution to a problem, again, my motto this year, if you're going to call and complain, bring something behind it, some suggestions, some ideas, some things that you think that these guys can help to help move the system forward, all right? So the phone lines are open. We got 2 operators on hold right now waiting to get those calls. If you call and the phone is busy, call the text number. That's a secret. Don't tell everybody, though. That's a secret. You can call both numbers. You'll get through, all right? We want to hear from you tonight. We don't want you to sit back there and then see Courtney in the college and say, oh, Courtney, you should have asked them this. Courtney and I can't think about everything. Yeah. That's why you're there.
Sammy, I want to remind them that the numbers are up there. 300-1949 for calls, and 300-1950 for text. And of course, if you call or text from a digital phone, the call or text is absolutely free during the show. So go right ahead and call us. We're right here. We have our guests willing and able.
That's right. Well, Courtney, we're going to give people a chance to call. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take like a 5-minute break just to make the show, to give the folks who make the show possible a chance to sell you something. So don't turn the dial, don't go to the next show and then say, no, don't switch. Stay right where you are. These are the most important people right now in the BVI, British Virgin Islands, that are responsible for your health care. So we want to hear from you guys tonight, all right? So we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
With Digicel 4G, discover hundreds and thousands of apps available from the Google Play Store, allowing you to do more. Listen more. Feel more. love more, play more, see more, like more, share more. Make more of every moment. 4G phones available from just $99. Sign up for a Digicel 4G data plan from as little as $1 per day and explore the Google Play Store from your Android smartphone. Put extraordinary at your fingertips. Be extraordinary. Digicel. Subject to availability. Digicel terms and conditions apply.
When you need total insurance coverage, Caribbean Insurers Limited is here for you. Backed by A-rated companies, Caribbean Insurers offers coverage for auto, home, marine, health and life, contractors all risk, employer's liability, and professional indemnity. Our life and health coverage is the best. Our in-house claims service beats all the competition. We cover you for disasters such as fires, hurricanes, and floods. We have a special deal for drivers under the age of 25, so switching to Caribbean Insurers can save you money. For the best claim service, fast and efficient customer service, stability, and longevity, Caribbean Insurers is a must for every household. We also compare our home insurance policies with any other policies for free. Caribbean Insurers has a wealth of insurance knowledge for almost 40 years in the insurance business and over 500 years total staff experience. Trust us to provide you with insurance when you need it. So, stop by our office today or give us a call and we'll come to you. Call 494-2728.
One Stop Auto in the R&R Malone Complex at Parkwood Pond, right next to the DMV. One Stop Auto has a full line of service parts, motor oils, professional tools, garage equipment, chemicals, window visors, floor mats, light bulbs, wipers, suspension parts, radiators, and a whole lot more. Need your vehicle license at the DMV? One Stop Auto has a vehicle licensing package just for you. Visit www.onestopautobvi.com for more information. Visit One Stop Auto for all your automotive needs, and they'll fix you up good.
Less Than 10, the perfect place for kids' party supplies and just about everything for back to school. Whatever you need to make your kids' party a hit, we've got it at Less Than 10. All the top selling themes: Hannah Montana, High School Musical, Disney characters, and superheroes. On a budget? No problem. We'll make you look like a superhero by putting together something special for your kids' summer party or any celebration. Remember, this is what we do. Let us take the stress off you. But here's the best part. When playtime is over and it's time for back to school, we've got all the supplies: books, art and craft supplies, rulers, erasers, pencils, pens. It's Less Than 10 again. Less Than 10. Our quality, selection, and price are the perfect blend. We're located upstairs Super Value. Stop by today. We're sure to have something just for you.
Welcome back, guys. So we're back again, and like I said before we went on the break, this is your chance to call these folks, tell them what you have to say, make your recommendation, and make some suggestions in improving our healthcare services in the BVI. While we're on break, for those of you that don't like to call, thanks for the text. We had 3 texts on the break. One text, I guess this person must have some intimate knowledge about your servers, and they saying that your servers are so slow right now at the system at the hospital. So how are you going to improve that? What are you doing to improve the system, and how safe proof is it? Is it easy to be hacked?
Well, no, there are some measures that we put in place.
Hold that answer. Let's just answer this call real quick. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please. Hello, talk to us.
Yeah, get a little faster. You got too much long. You have a long waiting time.
The wait is too long. We're working on it.
Where is the wait? The wait is at the clinic or at the emergency? Because some people go to the emergency when they should be going to the clinic.
In the area.
Okay.
Emergency.
Yeah.
All right, we appreciate that. Tonight, we are talking to the BVI Health Service Authority. These are the people responsible. We have the chairman of the board of the BVI Health Services Authority. We have the CEO, Ms. Baptiste, very lovely young lady, very smart. I read her bio, thanks to her PR people. So she knows what she's saying. She knows what she's talking about. So whatever it is you have on your mind that you think they don't know what they're doing, call them and tell them. We want to hear from you. We appreciate your text, but we want to hear your call. We want to hear your voice. That goes further than any text, because some of you take so long to write these texts and it takes us so long to read them, we lose the message. So call us and tell us what you have to say. Another text we had while we were on break.
Answer the first one.
Oh, answer the first one. How secure are your service? Any issues with that?
No. The first question you asked about the swiftness of the server.
It's slow.
It's slow. Because we were having some resource issues, and of course we had to expand the bandwidth and the capacity of the servers that we have. Okay. So that was done. It relates to security measures at every tier is built into the system. So we do have a very secure network.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, so they are secure. That's for sure. And you're going to increase capacity or make sure they're faster. They sound like this person might have some intimate knowledge, because the rest of us don't know it's slow. We just know that person is doing their job. Even if they take in, we think a little long.
Yes.
But nonetheless, doctor service, when emergency, sometimes somebody was suggesting that there should be a minimum of 2, maybe 3 doctors. I don't know. I haven't been in an emergency room in a long time. Generally, what's the rule of practice? How many doctors do you have on staff on any given shift?
We usually try to do, especially with A&E, at least peak hours, or we try to have at least 2 physicians on call. What we try to do is, again, with the community outreach, is to educate the public about emergencies, non-emergencies, to help the flow with A&E, and if we've expanded hours in the fast track. So those persons who don't need to go through A&E will be situated and sent to fast track. So at most times we try to at least have 1 physician within fast track and 1 within A&E to keep the flow going.
Now let me ask you this though. I was there recently, about a month ago, and I was in the emergency room. There was a few older people, there was a few younger people. How do you guys assess what's an emergency, who should be seen when, and how quickly? Because I'm sitting there, I'm listening to a lady who's been there. She's been 60-something years old. She feels as if she's been overlooked. She's been there over an hour. 2 or 3 other cases come in. They haven't really, in her judgment now, they're not as important as her situation. How does the doctor or the staff on duty determine and expedite those people that really need service right away?
The acuity is done at the time of triage. When the person manifests to ER, that's when the determination is done whether this person needs to be seen immediately or this person could actually be stabilized, whether given an introducing of meds, or they can actually wait a while depending on whatever else is going on within A&E. So that is done at the point of triage. The acuity level gives the priority. If it's a threat to life and limb, those are the ones we move expeditiously to get them into and get them stabilized and treated.
Okay.
So if you have a headache for quite some time, you have tingling, numbness, shortness of breath, then those are the persons we kind of elevate up to. If you had a cold for a couple of days and you come to the ER, we ask if the clinic is open, like was alluded to earlier, you please go to the clinic and you could be seen expeditiously there. If not, you'll be sent through fast track. If fast track is backed up, you'll be there waiting for a while.
No, I got to tell you, I must give big up to the doctors there.
Great.
All the doctors. I don't remember all their names. I'm terrible with names, doctors, so please forgive me. But they know who they are. They know. When I was there, I had a stomach virus or whatever it was. I was sent from BNF, and they wrote on that paper, you guys need to take care of this guy right away. They made me wait, and I didn't mind them dealing with other people who I believe was more important. But at the end of the day, they took really good care. So anybody out there that have complained about the doctors, you better wisen up. We have some good doctors down there. We just probably need a little bit more of them.
Yep.
You know, I think that's the biggest complaint. How do you get those?
Yeah, we get complaints. One thing with us, we haven't been consistent. Like in your particular case, what we should have done was communicate to you that it's going to be a wait time because of the acuity level of another patient.
All right, hold that thought for a second. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm listening to you, and you are saying that sometimes you can go to the clinic. I've actually been to the clinic, and there have been no doctors there, and I've been sent to the emergency room.
Okay.
That's good to know. Thank you so much.
Sometimes that probably happens too. You go to the clinic, and there are no doctors present, so you go down to the emergency room.
Could you tell us which district that's in, please?
In Rotown.
In Rotown.
Yeah, there's only one big hospital, huh?
No, it has a clinic in Rotown as well.
No, she went to the clinic and they sent her to the emergency room.
And what time was that, ma'am?
Yeah, what time of day was it?
It was during the, I think it was around midday, but it was actually during the day. I had an issue with one of my children, and I took them to the clinic, and I was told no doctors were there.
Okay.
How besides the wait, or besides having to be sent to the emergency room, how did you find the service itself when you end up at the emergency section?
Well, it depends, like you say, on the actual issue that brought you to the emergency room. I've actually been there twice last week, and I must say the service was very great. My issues were, I guess they were moved to the top of the line, so I was actually seen quite quickly. So I must commend you that you are improving on services, but I have been there at times where I've had to wait 3-4 hours sometimes in this room. So it all depends on what the issue really is.
Well, it sounds like the baby trying to tell us what the problem was. Fighting you for the phone. Well, we appreciate that. Anything else you want to contribute? Any suggestions you have as far as going forward to help improve the entire system, all the clinics outside of the Rotown area?
I think one of the problems I know you have is collecting bills. You know, the follow-up and actually collecting, you know, monies that are owed to the organization. A lot of people aren't too in favor of the new health card that has been introduced, but I understand what they're trying to do, and so I commend them and I applaud them. It's a bit lengthy to actually get it set up, but after it's set up and you have the card, you just go and use the card and it's no problem.
So what do you understand about the card? What are they trying to do with the card?
Well, getting your information in one place, like you said, organized. And it does make sense that if I present my card, it doesn't matter where I go, you actually have information on me. Because I've actually been to the emergency room, had tests done in the emergency room, and went back at a later date, and they couldn't find my results. Whichever doctor asked for the results, the results were sent to that particular doctor instead of placed on my file. You know, and that probably was a problem. So I guess with the card now, it should be easier to follow up on everything.
Okay.
So I know a lot of, mishaps were happening, but I see you're trying to improve upon it, and like I said, I applaud you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the call.
Appreciate your call.
Let me say this, Sam, that what she experienced at Rotown Clinic should have never happened. We should always have doctors, and I'm glad she said it, because it's something that we would look into and something that we will hold our doctors accountable for. So those kind of things should not happen, and when they do happen, I would need to know. Mm-hmm. I need to know that during the day, midday, or whatever time it is, that somebody presented to the Rotown Clinic and they're told that there are no doctors there. I would like to know. Mm-hmm. All right, and I'm sure
is there some place where they can, a comment box, a suggestion box at the hospital in different clinics?
There's a number they can call. What's that number?
We don't want no number. We want suggestion boxes. Hold on 1 second. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please. Go ahead, talk to us. It's a live show. All right, we just missed your call. Just call us right back. Sorry about that. Yeah, phone number song's really good, but it's a process, and people don't like process anymore.
What I'm saying is that's something that we can look into right away if someone would call us.
Okay.
The suggestion box is fine for in terms of you might pick those things out once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, but with the new improved services that we got coming, it's no more once a week thing anymore. Every day those
all I'm
things should
saying
be
is-
screened, and there should be people at those clinics dealing with those complaints, because obviously there's things that are happening right now.
But something of this severity, with the importance of having total coverage, in real time, you can call the hospital, call myself, or call the director of hospital services, call somebody in the executive level, and make that known, so we can actually act upon it immediately.
All right, you guys hear that? So they giving us straight up information. Mr. Klein believed that it's more important to make that call. The young lady said you can call her. I don't know if that means direct or what. If it is direct, what number would they call?
I remain accessible. I have an open door policy to the staff and to the public. Folks just walk in, make complaints, state their case, comments. We get letters. Person just want to connect to see me, because of course, as a chief executive officer, to bring validity to their concerns. And I really want to be open to the community, especially being here as a new individual in the process. I really want the community to build the trust, and the staff to build the trust in me, that I'm here to effectuate change.
What you expect to accomplish? You just said something, but what do you really expect to accomplish based on what you saw needs to be done at the hospital and the entire system? What you would personally like to accomplish? Hold that, let's get to the phone real quick. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please.
Good night.
Good night. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I think the service in the hospital is very good. I was there Friday, and I just happy that they have like the old veterans, them still in there, like Delary, Smack Davis, and people who just carry you down good. Like if you come in and they want to probably like choke you, and you're ready for it, and I just glad that they have people like that in there.
So you're saying the young lady who choke you and don't really calm you down is not good, but the old veteran want to calm you down and choke you when you're not realizing she choking you is better.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that these veterans, they know you for years coming in there. From time you're 17 in them ages, that you're so comfortable with them that when they sit down and they speak to you, you're gonna listen to them, and then you're gonna be more relaxed. I ain't saying nothing about the younger one them. I'm just saying, the service in there is very good.
Awesome.
And the healthcare system, I think, is something good, in case I get in an accident where, I can't speak. You could put in my name in that system and get access, in the database.
That's the
and
idea.
be able to get access to everything. You might know who my husband is, but all of it would be right there.
Yeah.
Next of kin, my age, my blood type, my religious belief, everything about me. So it's a good thing.
That's good. What about the services, say, down in Seacoast Bay or East End? Have you had a chance to maybe go to the clinics and see the difference in the services? Because obviously the hospital has to be these guys have to be an extension of the hospital services. We want a transparent system. How do you feel about those?
I didn't went to them. The only one I went to was the one in Tongue, and those ladies in there were nice also.
Okay, that's good.
The service was good.
All right.
You didn't have to wait for a long time, and if somebody coming in, you feel like they don't tend to that person before you, they come and they explain the situation to you, so you more feel, you appreciate it, and you're not just sitting on there and whoever come in, they're going with, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So the service is good. So,
All
Mr.
right.
Klein, I think you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you so much for the call.
Thank
All
you.
right.
All right. So just real quick, madam, again, Ms. Baptiste, what do you hope to accomplish?
Well, the board gave me 5 mandates
Okay, what are those?
when I came aboard.
Hold that. Sorry.
The
Y'all speak your mind. Go ahead, please.
Good evening.
Thank you for calling.
I'd like to commend the new board, Bishop Klein and the new board, and Mrs. Baptiste, for doing a tremendous job in trying to improve services at the hospital. I have 2 things that I'd like to mention. The first one is a question. Do you now have a dental hygienist at the Rotown Clinic?
Is there a dental hygienist?
Yes, we do have a dental hygienist at the Rotown Clinic.
Okay, great. The other thing is, some time ago I had a relative there, and I noted the food containers, the containers that you were serving the food in, were things like little plastic bowls. There's a piece of
I know the danger of putting hard food in plastic. Have you been able to do anything with the food service area?
I repeat the comment real quick because we lost a little bit of what you were saying. You said there was some plastic containers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm wondering if I did mention that to the minister, and he said that they were working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if you were able to do anything about the food service area.
What's your suggestion?
Containers. Well, I would prefer to see, I know that there are certain containers that you have for hospitals with a cover on it, that type of thing, and which is, to me, I think is much healthier than the little cheap plastic bowls with a piece of clear plastic on it. So I'm wondering if you've been able to do anything about that.
Well, I met with the dietary staff maybe about a month and a half ago, and I know we were in the process of changing out the trays. That's what you're talking about, using the trays instead of using those individual plastic containers with saran wrap, and actually use the plastic with the seal type lids on them. Yeah, and to make them a lot more appealing and, of course, sanitary. So I know we were in the process of changing out. If you want to give me a follow-up call, I can actually get the specifics for you, and then we could have dialogue to give you a confirmation of where we are in the process.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're
and
welcome.
I would again like to commend you for the new look and the cards. The other lady just mentioned that. I think that's an excellent idea.
We
and
appreciate
I see that you're working hard to improve things. So I encourage you and commend you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the call. Keep watching, please. And if you need a call back, if you remember something else you didn't remember on this call, call us back.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, folks, obviously, I think that's 3 for 3. Ms. Baptiste is on it. All these little things that you guys think they're not seeing, that she's not holding meetings on, I think is important. But again, don't let that deter you. We want to hear from you. You have any suggestion? And this is what we really, really want. We want to hear what you find could be an issue, but also tell us what you think can help solve the problem. That's how we want to move this country forward together. All right, let's get to the call. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hi, talk to us.
Hi, good evening. I just called with a question.
You want to answer? When you ask that question, do you want to answer?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and ask the question then.
I was just wondering if they were ever thinking about putting EMTs and ambulances on the eastern and western.
You heard me say that before. You heard me say that before, and you heard the minister mention it. Thanks for taking my idea.
Sorry, I'm just tuning into your show, so I didn't catch the first part.
Okay, no problem. Yes, this is a really good question. You actually took it off my paper, but you heard me mention that before on this show. And I'm glad you and I are blowing each other's hand. Go ahead and ask the question again.
Maybe I was the one that gave you that idea.
I don't know. I don't know.
I was wondering if, they ever thought about putting ambulance and EMT personnel in the eastern and western side of the island, just in case of, bad accidents and stuff. Because if the ambulance coming from town to reach all the way western or eastern, it's kind of timely. And it may be costly to have that service, but have they given that any thought?
Yes, it's been more than a thought. I don't know if we were paying attention to the media recently. We had 5 EMTs graduated from within the BVI Health Services Authority alone, and we had 17 within the fire services. What we are sitting down and doing is developing an MOU. We had 2 lovely gifts, 2 brand new ambulances from the Social Security Board and 1 from James Todman Construction. So we actually kind of get them to the place of where they're passed the national registration or certification, and of course then partner with fire to have them stationed with their EMTs and our EMTs, build up a 911 call center or base. We just recruited a very strong EMT coordinator / supervisor who's actually going to be the train up, and we're recruiting heavily right now for an A&E trained specialist to give us medical direction.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Follow. I know you got the other question to answer, but I want to ask you this first. Thank you for the call, caller. A lot of those trained EMTs, are those folks who you're training, are they BVI lenders?
Yes.
Good. This is something that we're advocating for big time. But I don't want to blow my own horn. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, and then I'll blow my own horn after that. Because on this show, this very show, Julio Henry talked about having more trained EMTs, ambulance services teaming up with fire department, and some of the fire guys understood, and some of them give me a lot of smacking and tell me I'm crazy. And then just recently we heard the minister even said that it's something it's beyond just thinking now. It's action they're looking to do. So
and there's more to it.
And there's more to it. So we'll be right back.
With Digicel 4G, discover hundreds and thousands of apps available from the Google Play Store, allowing you to do more. Listen more. Feel more. Love more. Play more. See more. Like more, share more. Make more of every moment. 4G phones available from just $99. Sign up for a Digicel 4G data plan from as little as $1 per day and explore the Google Play Store from your Android smartphone. Put extraordinary at your fingertips. Be extraordinary. Digicel. Subject to availability. Digicel terms and conditions apply.
Are the high rents, no parking, and traffic jams running you out of town? R&R Malone Complex has office, retail, and storage spaces you can custom design at prices you can afford. There is plenty of parking, central restroom facilities, freight elevators, and emergency backup power. Check us on Facebook or call 494-4345 to reserve your space today. R&R Malone Complex, a bigger bang for your buck.
Contractors, homeowners, farmers, commercial building owners, utility workers, VI Construction and Maintenance Equipment Rental is pleased to introduce a new way of working. Working smarter and working safer. Working smarter and safer can save you money by getting the job done using the latest in available technology and most appropriate equipment to work effectively and efficiently, resulting in reduced manpower and reduced work time. This decreases your cost and increases your profit. Our MT55 can fit through a 3-foot doorway and weighs only 2,500 pounds. Yet this machine equates to 4 men. Our MT55 can move dirt, grade levels, hammer walls, walk as a forklift, dig post holes, excavate dirt, sweep roads and parking lots, till the ground, work inside buildings and on lawns without ripping up your yard. Cut your work time in half. Rent it today from Kame and start saving money and increasing your profits. Call us at 494-1863 or email rental@kamebvi.com. Daily, weekly, monthly, or weekend rates available. Work smarter, work safer.
When I say Radiotron Electronics, I mean
HD TVs in all sizes from 19 inches to 60 inches from top brands.
When I say Radiotron Electronics, I mean
DVD players, home stereo system, home theater systems, headphones for everyone from top brand.
When I say Radiotron Electronics, I mean
cellular phones, watches, car audio systems, speakers, laptop computers, household accessories.
When I say Radiotron Electronics, I mean
repairs for your computer, cellular phone, HD TVs, radio installations for your new car sound system.
When I say Radiotron Electronics, I mean
the biggest music store in the Virgin Islands.
We are located in Hampton's Gut across from the gas station. Stop by today. You just might find a piece of electronics that you need at Radiotron Electronics, your #1 sales and electronics repair center in the Virgin Islands.
Radiotron Electronics.
So many bills, so little time. Now, there's an easier way, a more convenient way. EasyPay. EasyPay is the new one-stop shop where you can pay your bills. No more time wasted going to multiple locations, being stuck in traffic, or standing in line after line to make your various bill payments. Pay your bills with Easy Pay. It's the easy way to pay. Here's how it works. Just go to one of our conveniently located Easy Pay payment points and present your bills along with your payments to the Easy Pay teller. Our teller will ensure that your payments are applied to each bill. Easy Pay gets your account information directly from the biller, so there's no room for error. And you can make your bill payments in cash, debit, credit card, or check. Be sure to make your checks payable to Easy Pay. We'll give you an official payment receipt. And that's it. It's that easy. Easy Pay payment points are located at select Right Way food markets. Easy Pay also has a payment point in Anegada at the Anegada Reef Hotel. You can pay these bills with Easy Pay. So use Easy Pay. It's the easy way to pay.
Why pay another way? Easy pay. Just pay the convenient way.
More billers and locations coming soon. See easypayvi.com for more information.
All right, so welcome back again, guys. Thank you again for the text and the phone calls. And just remember, the more you call, the quicker you call, I just stop talking. So we want to hear from you guys. I think the calls been great. They've been very positive. We know that there's still a lot of work to go. We have two good people right now running the show. I think they're good people, not because I'm on the show and they're here in front of me, but I think they're smart, they're good. One is a good business person. The hospital services, or the whole entire services needed somebody smart in business to get this thing on track. And now we have a young lady who, I mean, she has a background in everything that she's there talking about, so it's great. Miss Baptiste, before we went on break, during the break, we had 3 texts. Somebody in Virgin Gorda is always tuning in. They're very concerned about health and health services up there. Sometimes they say they got good doctors in Virgin Gorda, and every time the doctors get settled in, you guys send them to Tortola. What's up with that?
I think a lot of it is just a rotation. If folks are talking about specific physicians, then again, we could address that. But what we try to do is, again, based on demand and circulate physicians throughout the practice. Well, our practice is to circulate physicians throughout the system to keep their skill sets sharp.
Okay. And in Virgin Gorda, please call, because I know you guys had a lot of questions about doctors being there on a regular basis. You know, not being able to get service. Sometimes you go to the clinic, what is this, Iris O'Neill Clinic? You get there and all of a sudden they have to wait for the doctor to show up. I know some of those questions are on your mind. I know you guys are tuning in, so please call and let us know. Even in Jocelyn Dyke and Anegada, what kind of situation going on there? I go to Jocelyn Dyke a lot, and I see people getting on a boat to come over. Is there a clinic?
Yes.
A staff clinic in Jocelyn Dyke?
Yes, it's staffed. We have Nurse Sweeney there, pretty much 24/7. So, and I've been able to not only visit him, but I've visited every site throughout the BVI HSA and dealing with him, and he's really on top of what's going on the island. So folks will be very much encouraged to visit him at that particular.
All right, hold on. All right, call right back. I just missed you. Sometimes when the young lady's talking, I say young, she's probably older than I am, but when she's talking, I want to hear, and you guys probably want to hear what she's saying, so I don't really want to cut her off as much, but call us back. We just missed that call. Yes. Let's get to the call real quick. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please. Talk to us. You're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening to the panel.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Yes.
What's on your mind tonight? We're talking about health services tonight.
Yes, I find out that the hospital upgraded very good.
Thank you.
I nearly lost an all inside there. But what happened? Emergency room need to upgrade it.
Okay.
You're there for all the 10 hours before doctor comes to you. You need to upgrade it, believe me. And a lot of people talking about it. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I alluded to earlier, the fact of dealing with the competencies. We're in the process of doing a process audit, actually looking at the wait times and seeing where the gaps are. The HIS system, again, is going to help alleviate a lot of the wait time for folks who have special orders done, whether it's lab, x-rays. It will manipulate and show on the system versus the physician have to wait for a paper. So again, some of those pieces will diminish the wait time for our patients.
You just remind me to ask you a question in relation to what you just said about waiting for results. But we'll get to that in a minute. Babies waiting too long. Somebody sent another text in and said, they have a problem with babies waiting so long for service. Apparently that's been their experience. I don't know if that's across the board. How do you address that?
It's the same thing. Once the infant or toddler is triaged, we can actually make a determination whether the person needs to be seen in emergency right away or go through fast track. Fast track hours has been extended to eliminate that gap. And again, it's based on acuity. The severity of the individual, even if they come a half an hour after you, 45 minutes, or even an hour after you, they need to be seen, again, for stabilization.
All right. We had another text. Someone was texting about a situation trying to register, either try to register as a BVI lander and receive the card in the hospital service, but because they had U.S. passport or U.S. ID, they were either turned away or sent to go get their stuff. Caller, texter, again, the text is good, but it's long. We're missing the point. We're losing what you're really asking. If you can give us a call or send a text back, short it, whatever, so we can understand. From what we read, it sounds like you're saying that, you went in to register, maybe you didn't have your BVI information, and they felt there's another criteria. Is there for someone who's not a BVI lander trying to register in the hospital to get services?
It has to be a BVI government-issued identification to manipulate or to get the card. So to prove that you're actually a resident. So you can get the card with a U.S. passport. You can with any government-issued ID. But again, to get the benefits of a BVI resident, you have to have a BVI registered government-issued identification.
Yeah. Okay. Courtney, you have anything?
No, but I was hoping...
You said no? Okay.
Wait,
Courtney.
no.
He said no.
No, but
hold on real quick, Courtney. You got a call. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please. Go ahead, talk to us. Live show.
Good evening, Sam.
Hey, good evening.
And everyone else, good night.
Good night. Good night.
I just tuned in, but I rushed home to get to see this thing because I know you told me this was happening tonight. So.
You wasn't supposed to rush home. You were supposed to be sitting in front of your TV already. Plus, we have 3 really good phone companies in the country, and all of them sell Samsung. Buy yourself a Samsung, get 4G, and you could be anywhere and speak your mind because it's live on the net.
You're right, my friend. You're right.
No, I ain't right. I'm just telling you.
No, you're right. You're right.
All right. Tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah, first of all, I want to start by bigging up the Bishop Klein.
Okay.
I must big him up because it's the first time I've seen a serious positive look on that hospital. And I know it's under his control, and I know he knows how to get things done. And this is proven evidence that he knows to get things done. It's happening. The hospital is getting where it should be. And while I'm here, I want to sort of big up the Filipino guy in the radiology section there. That guy is a really great guy, that doctor. I want to big up Nurse Wisdom. I want to big up Miss Green in the radiology area. I mean, these people, when you go to the hospital, don't forget this young guy, Baltimore, young guy, BJ. These people, just these few people, I went to the hospital and spent some hours down there. And it's the first time in the history of this hospital, ever since I've been going there, I felt really at home down there. And I'm so proud to talk about the hospital. I never did talk about the hospital like this. I don't want to end up staying in the hospital, but if I do, I pray to God this kind of results that I've gotten when I went there last week, that it will continue. Big up to Bishop, you're doing a great job. We're going great places. Keep doing it. I'm loving it. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Well, he
Thank you, Carl.
He hang up, but thanks for the call. Definitely thanks for the call. He mentioned something that we're going to talk a little bit about sometime during the show, the preventative services and you know, and how we're going to be going forward with, you know, promoting preventative services through the Health Services Authority, of course. Okay.
One of the things we try to do with the complaints we get is the complaints that we have is we identify deficiencies. And once we identify those deficiencies, we try to make provisions to address them. So we don't see complaints as negative. We see them as a way to help us improve, as was stated by the CEO. And I don't want people to forget, really and truly, we don't, even though people big us up, I don't want them to forget our minister, because he really has a heart, the Honorable Ronnie Skelton, for improving health services in the territory, and he's behind us 100%. He ensure that we get what we need when we need it, as long as the money can buy it. So he is, yes, the man at the top of the helm, and we are just executing. But at the end of the day, what we seek to do is to improve healthcare. We want to stop the exodus of patients from going to Puerto Rico and St. Thomas and elsewhere. We want, when someone is in the hospital here, or when someone is in the hospital, it's not in Puerto Rico where their families and their friends can't see them, but they're here. We can take care of them. They can get quality care here. And that's what we hope to do. We're not where we need to be. We're not where we want to be, but we are working daily. I'm on the phone with the CEO every day, just about every day. We're talking about something, how we can improve what we do. Whatever complaints we get, I call her. If it comes into me, I call her. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm saying to her, look into this. And if she has to leave her office and go downstairs and find out what's happening, and that's the only way we're going to make it better. So thank you for all of your comments indeed, and we will try to continue to do what we can to...
Is there a public number that people can use to get a hold of you guys? You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
I have a question and actually a comment about something that happened to me sometime last year. My question first, regarding the lab, is the lab open 24 hours? I'm not too sure about that, because I came in early one morning, and actually I think I had to spend some time waiting results. So I'm wondering if there's happened to be an emergency and, you know, some lab results are needed immediately. And if the lab is not open 24 hours, how would that be dealt with? No. Then I had another situation where a child came in with a bone that was broken in, I think, 2 places. And the child was treated and discharged. But that, in my opinion, was a very serious situation. And I guess it wasn't that serious to the doctors. But that child ended up having to leave the territory to get further care. It was a very serious situation, you know, for that child. Is a young child, 14 years old, but that child was discharged with a bone that was broken in 2 places, you know, with a cast. And the other doctors that the child ended up seeing, they said the cast was insufficient. The cast actually had to be put on, you know, again, because the cast that was put on in the emergency room did not cover all that it should cover. And then the child was discharged at the time with an appointment to see the specialist, the bone specialist, pretty much a week later. You know, and by that time, if it wasn't done properly, it would have already started to heal incorrectly. So I think, you know, that was a situation that was sort of an emergency, and I don't think it was given the proper attention that it should have been given.
Carla, real quick, you said that was over a year ago?
That was last summer.
That was last summer. That's more than 6 months ago. When did you start it? October. Since October, have you seen any improvement? Have you heard of any major complaints like that?
No, not since.
Okay.
But going back to my question though, because with the lab, about the lab being open, because this was something that happened to me recently, and I actually spent some time there. I think the reason why I stayed there that long, they were awaiting the lab results, and I actually went in around 4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know if the lab was open at that time, and I didn't leave the emergency room until 1 o'clock the following the afternoon. So, you know, I don't know if that was because of the lab, awaiting the lab results and stuff.
What are your lab hours?
The lab is open until 11 o'clock. After hours, there is an on-call rotation. So if an emergency or when an emergency arises, the person on call for that particular duty immediately comes in and does the lab results. But with our HIS system, again, maybe the lab results may have taken a while to get back to the A&E physician for completion of your assessment. But the system is such that now the readings or the results are fed directly into the computer and alerts the physician immediately who places the order. So again, the HIS system would address some of that wait time.
Okay.
Reference to your issue last summer, again, I really don't want to talk off the top of my head. If you had questions or concerns, we can actually do a chart audit and give, is it one of your family members or if it's some?
It was a family member.
It was a family member.
Yes.
Being a minor, if the parents give you the authorization or if the parents contact us, we can actually do a chart audit and give you some feedback on your concerns of what transpired.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thanks for calling. That's pretty good. That's real customer service. And, so I think people should take advantage of something like that. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please.
Sam, I was listening to you when you read a text with someone.
I thought you were going to ask me how I doing.
No.
Okay, you don't want to know how I doing.
No.
Okay.
I know you're all right.
All right.
I was listening to a text where you're reading with somebody, something with the US, but you couldn't read it because it wasn't right properly. But I say, well, this healthcare is going to even be more accurate than the census, and I just hope that the government would make sure they use the information they have with the healthcare over to Social Security to make sure the names and the Social Security numbers match up, and make sure you check through immigration and make sure the people in status is what I have on it, to make sure that there's no illegal immigrant in the country.
Oh, wow. I hope not. I hope not. At least utilizing our health services.
Yeah, this is a way for us to find out what's going on in the country.
Well, I think they got a good hand on it, though. At least from the hospital perspective. The next question, though, going in, let's say somebody new to the system, if they go to East End Clinic, are they being documented there, or they have to go to a hospital to be documented?
No, they can be registered at the point of service. The only delay that they have is actually getting their hands on the card. The cards are only issued at Roadtown and VG and in the hospital. Those are only 3 locations right now.
Roadtown meaning at the
clinic.
Roadtown Clinic.
Yes.
Okay.
So those are the sites. But however, they can still be seen, registered, seen, scheduled for any appointments, follow-up, and at a later date when they return to the clinics, the cards will be there waiting for them.
All right, Carla, you have any more questions?
No, thank you.
All right, well, keep watching because I got a hot one coming in after the next break, so keep watching. So pretty much, yeah, I do have a hot one coming because I know they're not supposed to really touch the new healthcare, the insurance scheme, but of course people want to know how it's going to tie in to the new hospital services, how competitive that's going to be. Is the hospital going to be up and running to the degree where people really don't want to have to go off island and they can utilize the service? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We've been prompted to take a break. On the way back, we're probably going to have about maybe 30 minutes left. So if you didn't get your question in and you still don't want to call and you want to send me a nice, lovely text, feel free to do that. But we're going to take a 5-minute break and we'll be right back.
With Digicel 4G, discover hundreds and thousands of apps available from the Google Play Store, allowing you to do more. Listen more. Feel more. Love more. Play more. See more. Like more. Share more. Make more of every moment. 4G phones available from just $99. Sign up for a Digicel 4G data plan from as little as $1 per day and explore the Google Play Store from your Android smartphone. Put extraordinary at your fingertips. Be extraordinary. Digicel. Subject to availability, Digicel terms and conditions apply.
When you need total insurance coverage, Caribbean Insurers Limited is here for you. Backed by A-rated companies, Caribbean Insurers offers coverage for auto, home, marine, health and life, contractors all risk, employers liability, and professional indemnity. Our life and health coverage is the best. Our in-house claims service beats all the competition. We cover you for disasters such as fires, hurricanes, and floods. We have a special deal for drivers under the age of 25, so switching to Caribbean Insurers can save you money. For the best claim service, fast and efficient customer service, stability, and longevity, Caribbean Insurers is a must for every household. We also compare our home insurance policies with any other policies for free. Caribbean Insurers has a wealth of insurance knowledge for almost 40 years in the insurance business and over 500 years total staff experience. Trust us to provide you with insurance when you need it. So, stop by our office today or give us a call and we'll come to you. Call 494-2728.
Al's Marine Air Conditioning and Refrigeration specialize in servicing and repairing units such as Daikin, Marine Air Tech, Mitsubishi, TGM, York. Any type that you call, we can install. We also work on commercial and residential units in houses, boats, cars, and company buildings. If you even need some cool breeze for your dog house or horse stable, we would not hesitate. We are always able. No job is too big or too small for Al's Marine Limited. For our home and restaurant customers, we also service and install all your appliances such as ovens, stoves, washers, dryers, refrigerators, and freezers. You can contact us at 494-4529 or 340-3791 or email us alsmarine@surfbvi.com. Al's Marine is located in Purcell Estate Road, Town, Tortola. Al's Marine Limited, your #1 choice.
Caribbean Basin Enterprises is your wastewater equipment superstore. Chromoglass sewage treatment for homes, institutions, and small communities. Grinder and non-clog pump stations. Manual and automatic grease traps. Subsurface wastewater drip irrigation systems, and more. For green communities, contact our Washington, D.C. or BVI offices or log on to cbebvi.com. Caribbean Basin Enterprises, your gateway to a world of savings.
Less Than 10, the perfect place for kids' party supplies and just about everything for back to school. Whatever you need to make your kids' party a hit, we've got it at Less Than 10. All the top selling themes: Hannah Montana, High School Musical, Disney characters, and superheroes. On a budget? No problem. We'll make you look like a superhero by putting together something special for your kids' summer party or any celebration. Remember, this is what we do. Let us take the stress off you. But here's the best part. When playtime is over and it's time for back to school, we've got all the supplies. Books, art and craft supplies, rulers, erasers, pencils, pens. It's Less Than 10 again. Less Than 10. Our quality, selection, and price are the perfect blend. We're located upstairs, Super Value. Stop by today. We're sure to have something just for you.
One Stop Auto in the R&R Malone Complex at Parkwood Bond, right next to the DMV. One Stop Auto has a full line of service parts, motor oils, professional tools, garage equipment, chemicals, window visors, floor mats, light bulbs, wipers, suspension parts, radiators, and a whole lot more. Need your vehicle license at the DMV? One Stop Auto has a vehicle licensing package just for you. Visit www.onestopautobvi.com for more information. Visit One Stop Auto for all your automotive needs, and they'll fix you up good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again. So we have 20 minutes left, and then, you know, another 10 or 15 if you start calling. So I would say 35 minutes left. They're trying to run us out of here, but this is your chance to speak your mind, get your questions across, share some ideas on how you think we can improve the health services in the country. Now, I hope you had a pen and paper handy. I got to give you a number. It's 852-7500. That is the main number. The young lady you want to speak with is Miss Rhonda Williams. Okay? I'm going to repeat that over and over. If you didn't get it, send me a text or a reminder and we'll do it again. 852, that's our government number. 7500. If you have any comments, any concerns, any complaints, something that you think that really needs to be addressed, the young lady name is Rhonda Williams. She is the risk manager at the hospital services. I don't want you calling this young lady right now because I know she's out there. She's in Virgin Gorda, Antigua, Josephine Dyke. I'm sure she and Mr. Klein talks every day, you know, so she's always on the phone trying to correct the issues, and it seems like from what we heard tonight, she's on top of things. So call the risk manager. We got levels of people who should be attentive and take care of these situations. If they don't, call me back next week and let me know, and I'll blast them for you. Okay, so if you call once, you don't get a response, call back again. If you don't get a response after that, then call me the third time, all right? Me or Courtney. This is a two-man show. Me or Courtney. So, 852-7500. That's the number for the hospital, okay? Please call that number if you have any complaints or comments. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
I would like to know why the Totola police station don't have a record. Because a lot of vehicles parking on the side road and causing a lot of accidents. And that connects to health.
It connects to what?
To health.
To health.
Health.
Okay.
You understand? So if the vehicle them come out on the side road, people parking so carelessly in the country, and the country don't even start to get vehicle yet because they're just looking for the young people in the country.
What do you think we should do?
All of them need a vehicle, and this vehicle just park up in the side of the road.
What do you think we should do, Carla? What do you think should be the immediate answer to that question, to that comment?
Give the police station a record where they could go and tow up with vehicle.
So we
get at the park and let them pay for it to get back the vehicle.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. So basically, we got to get the. I hope that all the rest of the politicians are looking, because we know when people like Mr. Klein and Ms. Baptiste on these shows, everybody around them who involved with the situation is listening in and viewing. So politician, create a law, give the police a record, give them the authority to pick up vehicles and impound the vehicles, and you could start making some extra money. That's a good idea. Extra money. The police should pick up vehicles that are illegally parked, impound them, charge a fee to get your vehicle back like everybody else does.
But the police don't even have to do that. They can contract the services.
Well, yeah, but it's better when the police don't have it, because when the crazy man go to get your vehicle back, if you go to the police department, he got to calm himself down. If you go to the contractor, it might be an issue, you know. But either way, if it worked, whatever works, obviously that was a concern about, you know, lives might be in danger because of how people are parking. So if you're parking bad, stop parking bad. But I think if you're going to start, Courtney, this one going to be a little touchy, but if you're going to start impounding vehicles, pulling vehicle up, they got a place right there by Custom Building where the legislatures them to hang out. The legislative building, the offices, Custom Legislature. There's a company called Infinite Solution right there. A lot of people to park right there. they should probably start there. You know, because that's a major problem. I'm serious. I mean, you come around off the highway, you turn in there, boom, there's a car in front of you.
Yeah.
You can't go nowhere. And the man coming down this way, because he has a right to, he racing now, fighting you to get by. So maybe they should start right in front of the legislature building, right in front of custom building. Start with the head first. Good comment though. Courtney, you got anything you want to say before I jump in this NHL? NHI?
I just wanted to ask our guests about the development of the heliports. Since I understand from the minister's speech the other day that they're now looking at building the other one so that they can tie in a system. Of course, I think this is all in improving the delivery time for services. You want to comment on that a little bit?
Those things are, it's collaboration between the Ministry of Communication and Work and the Ministry of Health. So it's really not under our immediate control. After they are built and they are functional, then we have direct impact. Right now, we don't.
Okay.
But
it will improve the inter-island.
Oh, absolutely.
The inter-island service,
yes.
right? Which medical evacuations,
Yes.
which is something that has been an issue for a long time.
Yes.
Serving Nanigata, Josh Van Dyke, Virgin Gorda.
Yes.
Okay.
Currently, somebody just sent a text wanting to know if health services standard compliance be established by the government, by the act of government. I'm not sure what that means, but you guys probably.
I think there's two vantage points, with the Ministry of Health and Social Development being the regulators for the BVI HSC. They will build in standards for healthcare in the entire territory. That's one level.
Right.
Internally.
Tell us the next one. You want to speak your mind? Go ahead, please. Talk to us.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Turn on your TV just a little bit so you can hear us and still hear yourself.
Listen.
All right, talk to us.
I just hear you speaking about the police to start right by the building. You just talk about parking.
Yeah, right by the custom building in the legislature building. That's my suggestion.
Okay, listen, Mr. Klein have a business right there?
Who?
Klein, that sits inside of you. You have a business
Infinite
right
Solution.
Yeah, you have a business there, right?
Yes, I mentioned that. But not because he's here. It just happened to be the business there.
Yes, hold on. Ask him how much parking he have for his business.
I don't know. Mr. Klein, how many parking you have for your business?
40.
I am renting from a landlord who provides parking for the building and for the businesses. Everyone knows in the BVI that parking is an issue. It's a critical issue. So our parking is limited like everywhere in the BVI. Our employees park at the back, right in the back, so we try to leave room for our customers to come, because if they can't park, they can't come in. If they can't come in, we can't make no business. So it's a problem that we face. So
you got a follow-up question, Carla?
Yes, I hear what Mr. Klein said. So then, what Mr. Klein was supposed to say to you right away, it is a problem. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's why I just said.
Both me, you, Mr. Klein, Courtney, I don't know the young lady. All of us know that in Tartola have a serious parking problem.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the government provides some place for parking and put a law that you can park there, and if they catch you parking bad, then they can do what they want. Because listen to this: if you give a recommend a contract to pick up vehicle when they park bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a car cost $50,000, and you come and make a recommend to it up. Who you gonna look at? The police, or you gonna look at the recommend?
Whoever picking it up.
Huh?
Whoever's picking the car up.
So exactly. So then it don't make sense to talk about that part of parking at all until you create place for people to park, because the whole of the BVI from north to south, east to west, it have a parking problem.
Carla, let me ask you a question. What part of the country you live?
What part of the country you live?
Yeah.
Boy, I live in town.
You live in Tongue. So you got the same problem. But you know, a lot of people who don't live in Tongue drive into Tongue and they leave their business where they work and right across the street is where they go pick up their lunch, and they drive to look for a parking space. Well, maybe what the minister was suggesting for Rotong is a good idea. We were looking at maybe creating some parking structures down by the hospital where you're parking right, some parking structures up by the fairground where you're parking right. What do you think about those ideas?
What you call a parking structure, building?
Well, whatever. Building, 2-story, 3-story. We need to do something.
Both me, you, and everybody know that putting a building on any of those places ain't like no parking space.
So you want us to put it in Sea Cosby and then you're parking right from there?
All I'm saying, okay, look at have the place that they keep carnival.
Mm-hmm.
They have a place that they keep carnival.
Mm-hmm.
They could place and put it for parking. When carnival time comes, you ask everybody to don't park there.
I got you. So that's a solution. You see, you and I just came up with a solution. That's what we're looking for. What do you think about putting meters in some of the government areas where government owned and people have to pay and limit their time? Because again, people are parking now and just to give Mr. Klein a little bit of help. I know he don't need it, but just to give him a little bit of help. You got people who ain't doing business at his place of business, but they occupying the parking space that should be allocated for his business. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we need to address that. But my whole concern and my whole comment, caller, was that we should start with the legislatures and those government vehicles that block up the roadway just before Mr. Klein building a place of business, right? Where the legislatures them hang out when they ain't doing nothing. Where the main custom building hang out with all the main custom. And I ain't jumping on customs officer, because Wade is my friend. But you know what I'm saying. They have a parking there, but sometimes the government vehicle park there and they block up the road, and you got other people, friends coming to see them friends, and I've seen it all the time. Sometimes I run into Mr. Klein's place because I drive in a taxi. I feel like a stop anywhere, and I run in, pick up my ink real quick and come out. God bless the police don't come by and give me no ticket, but something needs to be done. You agree, right?
Yes, something needs to be done. But the first thing to be done is to provide parking.
Yeah.
Some kind of parking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you provide some kind of parking, when you snap a ticket on a man, he can't make no night.
But tell me now.
When you don't have no place to park, what you gonna do?
But tell me something. You don't have any comments at all about the health services?
So how is your health? That's what we want to know tonight. How is your health? How you feel about health services, the clinics, the hospital? You think they're doing a good job? You got some ideas how they can improve? You think there's some problems down there? How do you feel about that?
I really don't know much about the hospital.
So you're in good health?
I ain't dealing with it for rolling a year, so I can thank God.
Okay, thank God.
When I meet you on the street and I meet Klein and Courtney, you're going to surprise me speaking to you.
Well, I think I know who it is, and I appreciate the card. Please don't hit me from behind. Let me see you coming, okay?
All right.
All right, appreciate the card. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I got to do this. NHI, the National Health Insurance, is coming on stream. A lot of people got some concerns. I know this ain't your area of expertise, but it does coincide with the new improved hospital services, extended services. In order for that to work, where we expect to be in the next 5 years in relation to the NHI and the hospital services where people don't have to go off island?
I think that there will be a continued education about national health insurance. It's a necessity. The escalation of healthcare costs, if something is not done, will greatly impact the financial viability of the BVI. I'll give you for instance. I was talking to the CEO just yesterday. One case. We had to ship off, fly out a 15-year-old sometime last year. That bill in Puerto Rico is $300,000. Okay? Who pays for that? The government has to pay for that. We have other cases where we had to fly people to Jamaica, to the U.S., to Puerto Rico. A lot of times these people don't have any insurance, can't afford to come up with the money. The government pays for that. A great portion of the $26 million that we are owed, about $6 million or something to that effect of that, has to do with people we had to fly out of here for emergency care. without some type of insurance that can provide the necessary means to do that, it will continue to impact the government and the country in a negative way. There are a lot of people in the BVI who are working. We can't deny anyone health care. Because we can't deny them health care, we still have to develop health care. Who pays for that? If there's not an insurance that pays for that, it's carried by the government. It's carried by the Health Services Authority. We cannot continue to increase the quality of care, expand the care that we deliver in terms of services, and then bleed money on the other hand. It takes money to hire good nurses. It takes money to hire specialty doctors and have specialty equipment that we can do a lot of things here. And the money must come from somewhere. So if everyone contributes into a system that we are able to recoup the cost for the services we render, it will help everyone in the long run. I can't say how it will work. The NHI is under the Social Security Board. We ourselves are hoping to be the preferred service provider for the National Health Insurance, but that's not our decision to make. So we are hoping that it works. We are hoping that it works for the benefit of the services we render, because you have to understand that maybe 60% of the people we serve probably don't have the ability to pay, or the government is responsible for paying for them. That's children, that's the elderly, that's prisoners, that's fire workers, that's all of these people who the government has to pay for. So if there's no vehicle that can help us to recoup the cost, it's going to bankrupt the country. So we cannot continue to go where we're doing. Whether or not this will work, I pray that it works, I'm not sure. It has worked some places, it hasn't worked in other places. Well, it has to be managed well for it to work, but we are hoping that it works.
I think the fear in most people right now, even going forward, is privacy, going to the hospital, utilizing the hospital services here, and then having, again, a wider range of services available to them. I mean, that's really where we are. Forget the NHI right now. That's really where we are. People who may have the ability to pay, where we at? Where are we going to be at in the next 5 years as far as the services that we can expect to have in our own country without having to be looking at Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, or someplace else?
Well, I mean, one of your questions you asked earlier, before I think like 2 calls came in before, you were asking me about some of the direction for the board, the mandates that were given. We talked about the HIS system, we talked about employee morale, which is really important. One piece that the board is really pushing for is customer service. Not only, and we're taking it beyond that, we're taking it to creating a mantra within the organization of service. Trying to do the hybrid between hospital and hospitality, looking at the image enhancement building for our employees. And of course, and not just lip service, but actually embodying the service of the people that we are providing their care to. So that's really, and going beyond. You asked the other question about the expansion of services. We're entering into a very formal agreement with a healthcare organization to bring in nephrologists, to bring in neurologists, cardiologists, pulmonologists, and hematologists, oncologists. So that's the first level of our expansion that we're going to be rolling out in the next couple of months.
For the layperson, can you say what all those things mean?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, most definitely. The nephrologist deals with the kidneys. So we actually have a robust renal clinic, and again, addressing or diminishing the persons on dialysis right now. Then with the pulmonologist to deal with respiratory illness. We have an issue with asthma and respiratory ailments, so that individual could deal with that. And we have the neurologist, neuro, brain, trying to make a robust telestroke unit within our existing services. The hematologist, oncologist is blood and cancer. So again, those are some viable options that will be coming on stream very soon. We already signed the agreement. We're just working out through the details right now.
So we're looking at expanding services in the capacity of bringing people in whenever needed, whenever necessary to serve, or are they going to be here permanently?
They won't be here permanently, but they will be here regularly.
Okay.
Regular schedule.
Like the foot doctor that comes every 2 weeks, or things like that.
Yes, our foot, ankle, and wound care. He comes down every month, and he's coming down at the end of the month. So that's really an exciting opportunity for us to expand our clinics. The person alluded to, I think one of the callers, Nurse Wisdom, she's the manager for that unit. So we are really trying to make the system robust.
Good. And what that does, Sam, is help the economy of the people themselves. Because if you have to take a plane to go to Puerto Rico, book a hotel for at least 2 or 3 nights, cabs, food, away from family, away from work, it impacts that individual financial position. And so what we're doing is trying to help bring, instead of letting them go, bring it to them. So all of these things are costly. So we continue to appeal. We're not looking for ways to take your money. We're saying if you want a system that works and works for you, then we expect you, when the service is delivered, to pay.
All right. All right, guys. Well, anyway, we're going to close off. Before we close off, 30 seconds, sum it up. Again, what you hope to bring to the new Peebles Hospital Services, and Mr. Klein as well, and then Courtney and I will do our thing.
Well, I mean, from my vantage point, I am very appreciative of the opportunity to serve in this capacity, first and foremost. And I think overall, I really want us to meet and exceed the standards and meet and exceed the expectation of the people of the BVI and the residents that we serve. I want to be a vessel to be used. I bring a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and I just want the opportunity to serve the people well and just work towards excellence.
Good. Mr. Klein?
I would say, even with the standards we are trying to set on the inside, we also want to become accountable internationally. So we are working towards international accreditation. We are working to employ some of the what they call Joint Commission standards. So those are international standards that healthcare in America and people adhere to. This is where we are heading. So if you ask where we want to be 5 years from now, we want to be able to say 5 years from now that we are an accredited hospital, that anyone looking at us from anywhere will know that they will get a quality healthcare. When I took this position, I didn't know it was so much work. Or else I wouldn't have said it. But I can't see things that needs to be done and not do it.
And not try to help.
And not try to change it. I want to leave, and I think I speak for this entire board, that we want to leave this system better than we met it. And we will work tirelessly, along with our executive management team and the ministry, to ensure that happens.
All right, Courtney?
Well, Sam, we had such a wonderful show tonight with health services. I think the entire Virgin Island public is now better informed about what's happening with the health services and what are some of the challenges and some of the possibilities that we're going to see rolling out in the next in the days to come, the days and months to come. We spoke about a lot of things. We on and off, we spoke about a lot of things, and we covered a lot of areas. We had a number of texts and a number of calls that were really on target, that speaks about the improvements that are being made to the service, not the improvements that are being made by the people, but the improvements that are being spoken about by people who have received the actual services. And that is what health services, I think, is really all about, the receiving end. A lot of planning and a lot of resources go into providing services, but the test is when those services are actually delivered and you get response from the people who receive the services. So I think that's something that is commendable on the part of the health services at this point.
Only 1 second. This is our last call. You call it, this is your last call, so please tell us what's on your mind.
Good night. I just tuned in I was listening to the call tonight. I was just wondering, the lady stated that there are going to be some doctors coming in for our national health insurance, right?
No. These guys are here representing the hospital services. And she's talking about that. They were talking about the expanded services that we're hoping to, at some point, have these doctors come on a regular basis to be able to treat people who need to be treated in those different disciplines. So it's not health insurance. I've tried to put the health insurance thing in there, so don't mix the two up.
Well, so it's not for health insurance?
No, this is all hospital services. We have Mr. Klein, who's the chairman, of the board, and we have Ms. Baptiste, who is the CEO of the hospital services.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I was just wondering, right, the opportunities that the doctors have, would anyone on Tortola, our children that are coming out of the school, would they have any opportunity to, have, go away to school? Is the National Health Insurance have any plans or plans later on in life where these children would, on a education basis?
Does the hospital services have any scholarship available to help assist people who really are seriously into medicine? We do have a few locals coming back home now who have went abroad. So it's an ongoing process. So yes.
What I'm trying to get at, right? We're going to be importing all these doctors where, our monies are going to be paying these doctors for their services. Would we be able to take over in the future?
Oh, yeah.
Our children, will they be able to take over in the future?
I'm going to answer that for just in the interest of time. We've already started. Next time you go to the hospital, just look around. The other day I went down there to get a follow-up, and a young dude, 20-something years old, looked at me, and when he told me who he was, yes. So yes, we have already started doing that. And the key is that we need to continue to encourage our own kids to get serious about, taking up these positions. Fire, police, immigration, custom, doctors, nurses, the entire system. We want to encourage our young people to be up front. And every time they get a roadblock, call the Speak Your Mind show so we can get the word out there that they're being blocked and they're not given opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really up to us, to continue to push our young people on. But we do have a lot of young people in the system now.
Okay, thank you. One more question.
Sure.
How much money, how much percentage of our paycheck do we have to contribute towards the NHI?
I know that's what you really want to talk about,
We don't know.
But
that information
even if they know, they ain't going to tell you. Because that ain't what we're talking about tonight.
Okay.
That's what happened when you tune in late. Next time, tune in early, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for the call. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do my spill. The number is 852-7500. 852-7500. This is the number you want to call. The young lady name, just ask for Miss Rhonda Williams. She is a risk manager at the People's Hospital. You have concerns, you got issues, something that you really want to get to the CEO, call that number. Other than that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate the calls, even if you tune in late. We appreciate the texts because they all are important. The reason we had these guys on tonight, and I'm hoping that they're going to come back, so the invitation is open publicly, that they can come back and continue because it's an outreach. It's about getting out there, letting people know of any new improvement, anything gained from where we are today. So mark your word, mark their word, a year from now, 6 months from now. 6 months from now, we're looking at every 6 months, we can get these guys on the show and tell us what's new, what's improved, and what you can expect down the road, all right? Of course, we're still waiting for a $200 million hospital to finish, and once that's finished, we're hoping that, I don't need to go to England to get eye surgery. Should be able to get that here, you know what I mean? So stay tuned. Again, thank you for tuning in. With that said, God bless.